Hey guys, I'm Kelly, the nurse who questions. First off, if you're not in the mood to listen to me ramble for the next 5 minutes, do yourself a favor and just skip to the last minute. I won't be offended. Secondly, this is the last of my rants for a while. Next week, we're getting back into nutrition, health, aliens, and psychedelics. Now let's talk adrenochrome. Just kidding. Well, kind of. I mean, at this point, you kind of understand how my brain works. You're either going to put me in the she's completely crazy category, which honestly I can respect, or you're going to think, okay, she might actually have a few valid points. Again, I'm not here to manipulate anybody or convince you of anything. I'm just putting my thoughts on the table. You can take them, leave them, challenge them. That part's up to you. Now let's talk about sacrificial rituals. We look back at ancient civilizations sacrificing children and we say, how barbaric, how evil, how primitive. They burned babies on altars. They tortured children. They bled people slowly because pain was believed to please the gods. They performed sexual rites, a lot with children, because they believed that orgasm opened up portals to divinity. They consumed flesh, believing they were absorbing power, vitality, spirit, youth. Cannibalism wasn't about hunger. It was ritual, domination, spiritual warfare. And we read that now in disgust and we think, oh my God, how barbaric, how monstrous. We're so evolved. But are we? History shows something uncomfortable. When humans believe that they are chosen, when leaders believe that they answer to no one, when power becomes insulated from consequence, humans can normalize anything. And now this is even a bigger piece of the puzzle. In my opinion, we live in a country where we get so overstimulated that nothing lands anymore. Scandal competes with memes. Babies being bombed in Palestine sit right next to dance videos. Our nervous systems are literally marinated in dopamine hits. And because everything is urgent, nothing seems meaningful anymore. We react, we comment, we feel a flash of anger or sadness. And then we move on to the next hit. And I genuinely believe it's not that we don't care. It's that we're neurologically fried. When stimulation is constant, impact fades. And a desensitized population is way easier to distract, easier to divide, and easier to control. Because nothing lingers long enough to demand any type of accountability. Because this is the truth. Power without accountability has historically drifted towards ritual, secrecy, and dehumanization. Ancient human sacrifices were public, but maybe modern sacrifices are much more quiet. I mean, it could be on an island in the middle of nowhere. When you hear about something so dark, so twisted, so outside your understanding of what a human being could even do, your brain doesn't calmly just absorb it. It's almost like it glitches. Because most of us walk around with this baseline belief that most humans have a limit. There are lines that we just don't cross. So when something blows past that line, it causes a lot of internal friction. Like your nervous system is saying, nope, that can't be real. And that's cognitive dissonance. So instead of sitting with that discomfort, they turn it back on you. Now you're the conspiracy theorist, Kelly. You're so crazy. It's all in your head. How can you even be a psych nurse? Because if they discredit the messenger, they never actually have to confront the message. And it's not because they're dumb. Because fully accepting how dark humans can get would completely shatter their reality and their sense of safety. And most brains would rather deny that reality than feel that destabilized. And we will get into predictive programming in another episode. History already tells me what humans are capable of when power goes unchecked. And that alone is enough to make me question everything. So this is what I propose to you. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through TikTok or watching the new Netflix series, maybe take that same time and actually dig a little deeper. And I'm going to walk you through that process. Maybe you can see how far down this rabbit hole goes. Okay, you're going to want to type epsteinjustice.gov directly into your Google search bar. Click the site, confirm you're 18 plus, and scroll down to the section labeled DOJ Disclosures and click it. From there, click on the Epstein File Transparency Act page. Once you're inside, you'll see multiple data sets. For example, I opened the data set 7, which contains a collection of publicly released PDFs and archived documents. Now you can start checking through all of them. I am not telling you what to believe. I'm legitimately asking you to just look for yourself. Read the emails, go through the documents, sit with the details, observe the pictures. There are millions of pages that were released, and it's definitely not simple or convenient to rummage through it all. But if you're willing to search instead of instantly dismissing it as if it's impossible, you might come across a few things that make your stomach turn. And maybe you'll understand why a lot of people are angry. And not because somebody told you to believe it, but because you took the time to see it with your own eyes. And maybe, just maybe, instead of fighting each other over narratives, we could step back and realize that there's real strength in numbers when people come together with good intentions. No ego, no agenda, just humans who want transparency, accountability, and a better future. And that kind of unity is fucking powerful. And for those of you who dislike our current president, that's kind of a nice way of putting it, there are also some pretty disgusting and eye-opening emails and pictures involving him. But fair warning, he's not the only president in these emails. So let's get angry, let's wake the fuck up and come together, because that's the only way that we're gonna make a change.